Because they love you, they're trying to hold you back. They don't think of it like that, but they think of like they so don't want you to ache with loss. They so don't want you to hurt the way that only failing at something can make you hurt, that they want to protect you from that. And I thought, whoa, like the people who love you the most may be the ones that try to hold you back the most because they're so terrified of what you will have to go through.
All right, this is from Raycon. What do you do with people who don't understand your drive to do more, work more, be more?
That was probably a better question maybe 10 years ago. Certainly the people closest to me at this point, it is such a natural part of who I am, and they've seen the results, the fruits of my labor. But a long time ago, that was maybe a little bit more confusing to people. I was working really, really hard and I had nothing to show for it. And that was, I think, a time where people felt like they need to try to give me advice. And, you know, so keep going, be you, like, don't be deterred by any of that. Like, it really comes down to having clarity of vision, knowing what you want, knowing what you're trying to accomplish. And God, this came from Chris Cornell. I'm like looking for eye contact, like somebody to understand, like you were mortified.
Looking for
I want like the
someone with
whole
eye
team
contact.
to like understand. I want everyone to understand. So Chris Cornell, who just committed suicide, and that is absolutely heartbreaking for me. You know how much Chris Cornell meant to me as a musician. And one of the things that he said, and anytime I write about this, I am thinking about him. He talked about how, in fact, it was just in one or two, no, it was the one that just came out, the impact quotes that I did, where I'm talking about even the people who love you, they cannot set you free. They cannot give you like to take off the limitations, right? They're putting limitations on because they love you, they care about you, they're worried about you, they want you to be successful, but they define success oftentimes as the freedom from suffering. And because what they want for you is not to suffer, and suffering is critical, and that is why we're in the middle of a fast right now. But when he said that, and I don't remember the song, but he talked about how even the people who love you are gonna hold you back. And I thought, whoa. And I think the line is even something like, they do it because they love you. Because they love you, they're trying to hold you back. They don't think of it like that, but they think of like they so don't want you to ache with loss. They so don't want you to hurt the way that only failing at something can make you hurt, that they want to protect you from that. And I thought, whoa, like, the people who love you the most may be the ones that try to hold you back the most because they're so terrified of what you will have to go through. And that, excuse me, that was a really, really powerful wake-up call. And so, man, like understanding that, that's why you have to be your own barometer. That's why you have to know what you want. That's why you have to be so like internally, you have to know what you want, and you have to know the price you're willing to pay to get there. And all of that, like, it can't come from anybody else. Go ahead.
Do you think then that's the same for people who give that advice to the partner? So for instance, I've had people in my life who, when we said we were going to start a protein bar company, they turned to me, right? Let's say my family and friends turned to me, and they're kind of like, what are you doing? Like, we love Tom, and, you know, but what happened to going into filmmaking, and are you okay with this? Like, do you think that still comes from the same internal, like, I just want good things for them?
Yeah, I do.
Because
I think that, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think a lot of people get that, right? Where it's either like they're putting judgment on you and they're doing it through me.
Sure, but I think it's at that moment they can't help. Two things are going on. One, they cannot help but think I'm crazy. And so people like, God, what was the quote? I just used it in the impact quotes. It's like, Epictetus, if you want to make progress or get better or something like that, like you have to be prepared to be thought foolish and stupid. And I love that. Foolish and stupid. Like you've got to be able to embrace that. Like people just are not going to be able to see that vision. And that's part of what having vision is all about. It's being able to see something other people can't see. And then, this is where that notion of don't be surprised by behavior that's predictable. If you can see something that other people can't see and they want to protect you, and this was really, they wanted to protect you, it's don't be surprised by that behavior. So I don't find that behavior surprising. I would have been more surprised if people could have somehow saw what I saw. Like if they could have seen what I saw. God, is that right? Why does that seem so weird? Whatever the correct use of that is, if they could have seen that, like I would have been more shocked than them not being able to see it. And then of course they're going to want to protect you. They have a better relationship with you. They're closer with you. So of course, like they're going to be able to say things to you that they might not want to say to me because they don't want to hurt my feelings. Also, people are usually hedging their bets. Like nobody wants to come out and just say like, this is never going to work, because too often it does.
But like, look, even if it doesn't work, right? If me and you've decided to go down a path, and this is something that we're like super keen on, super enthusiastic, as a husband and wife, we've made the decision. It used to bother me where people were like, what are you doing? You guys are crazy. Because ultimately, like, what difference does it make to them? Like, I believe in you so much, and I believe in your vision so much, and what we are doing as a team, that even if we fail, I don't care. And at the beginning, it really did bother me. And I would come to you like upset, like I don't understand. People like they just keep saying, "What are you doing?" And it wasn't until Quest was successful that people were like, "Huh." So yeah, like as the wife, I felt very defensive of you. I felt very defensive of what we were doing. And then I just realized over time I just had to get comfortable with it, and that ultimately it's mine and our lives, and it doesn't matter what other people think. And even if we failed, I had to get okay with being okay to fail, right? Because I think people trap themselves in wanting to be successful so they can show other people like, see, I did it. Versus like, oh, wow, we failed. Cool, let's pick ourselves back up. Let's do something else. And we've had other businesses that, people don't know about that we failed at. And I think after one failure after another, it was, I got okay with it.
Can I welcome you to the joy, the absolute gift of being doubted?
Yeah,
like that is
drives you.
Truly a beautiful gift. Like it oddly enough actually won't come along very often. People won't tell you to your face. It's certainly not somebody that you know and care about. And when people doubt, like you've got something to lean on, like in those, like, let me tell you right now, anybody that was paying attention, in fact, the episodes haven't come out yet, but the episodes that we did when I was sick, I can't remember if I did it on both of them, but I certainly did it on the first one. I was wearing Batman. And I was like, I need the fucking darkness today. I need the darkness. Today is the day I show up because people doubt me. Today is the day I show up because there are people out there that want for my failure. They hunger for it. And that gave me the chills. And in those moments, I need the darkness, motherfucker. Yeah. I am not showing up. I'm not moving towards something. I was in so much fucking pain. Like those two episodes. In fact, preparing for them was actually harder than showing up for them. I was so sick because my fever broke the night before I had to do the episodes, thank God. But in prepping, in writing them, in trying to like bring them into my mind, like that was when I had a fucking fever. So that sucked. That was not fun. And in those moments, really, really, I am relying on the darkness at those points. And so that's why I think that the doubt is a gift, because in those moments, like if you know how to leverage that, if you know how to leverage the people who want for your failure, if you know how to leverage the people who don't believe in you, like, and you can believe in yourself in those moments, like, and all you have to believe in is that you won't break, that you're not going to stop. Like, that's it. Like, you don't have to believe you're a super genius, nothing. Just, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep fucking going. Like, yeah, it's a gift.
Yes, and that is the. But look, I think that's that attitude has definitely gotten us where we are now, right? Like, because of that. It's just, as a partner, there's a lot of like, and look, maybe it's just in my situation, but I think this probably happens to a lot of females, where you get a lot of pressure from your family. Obviously my dad, that was a big thing. My dad was like, what are you going to do to take care of my daughter? And so every step or every move we would do, there would be that doubt, like, hey, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you settling down? How are you going to start a family if you're always starting new businesses? And I would get that a lot. And it wasn't, because... it was because he just cared, right? But as a woman, it's like, I felt like I always had to justify, like, why my husband was doing what he was doing. And so, but even though I always believed in you, right? I never had one doubt in you and what we were going to do as a team. But for the longest time, I definitely had to justify and had to kind of put all those doubters aside and, let you know, because that was very important, right? Is let you know that I wasn't getting slowly poisoned with those thoughts. But that was tough, like having to defend, and especially then going on to kids, right? After we'd been married for a certain amount of time, it's like, stop dreaming, stop putting your head in the clouds. Like, you've just bought a house. What are you doing putting everything on the line? Like, you need to start thinking about kids. And it got exhausting. And I used to get upset about that because...
Bless you.
Yeah. But then I think it just becomes, you need to get comfortable in the decisions, right? I had to get comfortable in, look, no, this isn't anyone else's life but mine. And when people want to put judgment on you, like you said earlier, it's because they feel they want to protect you. And so reframing it like that in my mind actually really helped me. And I just said to myself, okay, all my family love me. They want me to do well. They don't want, to see me ever have regrets, right? Because they don't know if we're going to succeed. And so for them, it's like, oh my God, in 5 years when they don't have a penny to rub together, how are they going to have children then? And, you're not getting any younger and you're not going to be able to have kids soon. And so, when I finally became okay with it, this is my life, this is no one else's. And as long as me and you are on the same page, and as long as me and you have that same vision and both in communication about what we're doing and then what those next steps are, it doesn't matter what other people think. And that was really tough.
Can I arm you with a quote for next time? Booze don't block dunks. I love that. My boy Kobe Bryant. Booze don't block dunks. Yeah. Like, whether it's somebody with good intentions, somebody that has bad intentions, it's irrelevant. Like, performance wins. Like, that's it. And so people can think you're crazy, people can heckle you from the sides, but either you're capable of the performance or you're not.
Right.
And so in times where people are throwing shade my way, all I think about is performance. Get so good you can't be stopped.
Yeah.